Hi guys, don't forget to subscribe, smash that button. I appreciate your support so much. Today's video is going to be an update video, snipers, and it's going to be very fast over 4 or 5 different stocks before we have a special video that we share something else that we've discovered that we think is a potential future big runner as soon as they release some updates to their financial statements that we're watching and paying very close attention to. So let's get started with this video. So Asta, ASTA on the OTC network, we started talking about them on our video about, a dozen days ago. They came off the EM and spiked almost to a penny, dropped back down. We started talking to them about 0061. They recently dropped back down and kind of are sitting around 0044. They've got super strong support. They're at the SHOT Show right now with BB. I'm super interested in this part of the company. This alone is a multi-billion-dollar potential. If you go take a look at what's going on with them right now, they just released a PR on the single point demonstration. I really recommend you go check this video out. It is incredible. I clicked on to watch the full video here and started watching it a bit. In January 10th, 2023, we arrived on location at the CS shooting range. They tested 5 different firearms at different caliber bullets. This is what you can put at schools, in your homes. This is protection for yourself, for your children. Asta Corporation owns a big percentage of this corporation. This is a 00 ticker still, and this is just one of 4 major parts of the company. Now, at this price. Now, moving forward, I still, really like this position. I hold quite a bit of shares in it. I like them going forward. I am looking for the company to make a material update on the stock soon. They've made some promises. They've put out some tweets that are leading, and I'd like to see the company, keep going forward. They have so far followed through with everything they've said they're going to, and I like that. And I like the CEO doing what he says he's going to do. Now keep going forward and do it now, right? Let's do it, Mick. All right. Okay, so snipers, on the next ticker we've got ENDV. So this one we called out actually originally at 008 for the Discord and on our Twitter account. So this one's been moving up for quite some time, and it's at 1.9 cent right now. It's got a lot of news been coming out. They recently released that they've split off to SoftPulse Inc. And this new CEO and president of that will be Ira Wesberg. You've jumped over to their Twitter account, and they've had a lot of action on that. They've talked about their head of corporate development, Gary Michael Kahn. They've talked about their groundbreaking device, SoftPulse. So I'm really excited to see where this one continues to go. I think any buys under the 2 cent range are really good buys. I think this one's massively undervalued. You got to remember this one's still down about 99% over what it was just a couple years ago. I like this one a lot. You can see here's the PR they just had on January 19th where they formally spun out SoftPulse Inc. To be privately evaluated shortly soon by a valuation company, which it looks like they're working on hiring. They're going to split that out as a whole separate company. Holders of ENDV will get shares in both companies. They expect that to be valued at around $50 million. And spin that out to run it up to NASDAQ. I mean, this is a huge opportunity to potentially get shares in a NASDAQ company from buying a penny stock. And this other one is also going to be still developed as a construction type company. So this is a good opportunity, in my opinion, to have a good long-term ticker. We'll see what happens with this one. Now, like I said, anything under 2 cents is a good range to buy. So next we've got NXMR. So we talked about this one recently, and it was sitting in the 0.011, 0.012 range. And it's still kind of in that range. It did have a dip, when people were a little panicked that they wouldn't follow through on getting their financials out on time, but they did. So we are still waited on the audited portion of it. We believe that's going to come out soon by the end of the month, and everything should be fine on that. We're also hoping to hear back on the CEO part on that. Let's see what happens with this company. If they follow through on some big things, they really could take off soon. I'm excited to see what happens. Right now, they're massively undervalued. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk. There's a great source for NXMR stuff. There's Mac and Cheese. If you follow him on Twitter, he's got some great thoughts on them. They're severely undervalued based on their financial statement. They have a revenue of $3.25 million. A net profit of $1.2 million and a market cap of only $2.4 million. If you go over the financial statements, that's massively undervalued if you do some PS ratios on that. You've got to go down through his breakdowns on it and how it works out. They bought out a massive note this year. There's no more conversions taking place. They've only got, like 200 million shares total. The price was dropped from like almost 15 cents a share to down to like just over a penny a share now. Like this has like 10-cent run written all over it, in my opinion. What we're waiting to hear now is a projection on the future revenues. Now that's supposed to happen anytime. So I'm really excited to hear what's happening with NXMR. We're expecting to hear that anytime in the next couple of weeks. So and the hiring of a new CEO. So if they come out banging with a big time CEO, they come out banging with some revenue numbers, this one could just shoot up. But it's really going to probably hang in this level and not going to make any big moves until, the company comes out and makes a speak. So, I like this kind of 1.1, 1.2 buy range. And that's kind of the number I'm bidding at still. But, watch it carefully every day. And if you get the opportunity to, load up big, that's what I'm doing. And look for any news before the end of the month because it's going to take off. Okay, moving along, we've got Right. This one's massively undervalued in my opinion. It's sitting at 0008. I really like this play. This has got some oil connections, got some possible downstream acquisitions. We're waiting on some news. This one had a recent little tweet update. I really like the 0008. I mean, I'd love a 7, but, they're hard to get. So let's look at their Twitter account. So there was a lot going on back in, September, October, November. Their downstream acquisitions. They talked about some possible oil connections. There was some Twitter connections, but then just January 18th, finally, we will be updating our followers soon and looking forward to a great first quarter. I'm excited about Right. This is a bottom play. If you look on Twitter, search up Right, there's a lot of support. Management has been staying quiet while they're working in the back. We saw before in the video, they hired a bunch of big players. They talked about major oil downstream acquisition. This is a trip zero play. They've got some billions of shares. I do like this one a lot. But, it's a penny snipe play. You're getting in the trips and you may have to hold for some time for it to flush out, but it has high-end potential. All right, we're going to move on. All right, let's talk GVSI. I really like this one. This one's been climbing up the charts. It hit 3.77 right before the filings. Actually, it spiked way higher on opening day and then dropped back down. But you know what? It's got great support. It's got a huge army. It's got George Sharp. And who doesn't love George Sharp? I mean, well, there are some haters, but, they can, whatever. He's got great things planned for this ticker. I'm certain of it. There's already massive rumors on Twitter, I hear. Let's take a look on Twitter. So GVSI says on their Twitter, they've come to an agreement with its CEO that 300,000 preferred B shares purchased by him cannot be converted for 20 years. This restriction will pass on to any transferee once the merger is completed. So they're already talking about the merger. There was also the, other things being retired. They're going to do a lot more with the share structure. I imagine this is going to be adjusted a bunch of times soon. You look up GVSI on Twitter. They've got their huge elephant army. They don't care. They're holding 2024. There's a lot of rumors going around on Twitter right now that this merger is already got a candidate. I don't know. There's a couple of them saying there's a $30 million candidate. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to validate anything, and I don't want to, because George will then just block me and punch me in the face or do something. So read your own stuff on Twitter. Let's move past that. I like this as a long-term buy. He's a good CEO. He'll make this company a success, in my opinion. So buy where you're comfortable buying, sell where you're comfortable selling, just like he says. All right, moving on. All right, snipers, please don't forget to hit subscribe. We have something special here for you today. I found this play, and you know what? I love movies. I love comic books. I love books. This one hit home for me, and when I found this one, I fell in love. And if they follow through with that they say they're going to do, I think you will too. So I want you to take a look at this one with me. This is MIKP, ticker symbol. Mike the Pike Productions. So this one was sitting down, Trip EM play. It's been there for years. They've had so many problems getting this one off the EM market, but they found a solution. So if you look recently, it has been climbing. 0007 it closed at recently. Now let's take a look at what's been going on with these guys. They filed Mike the Pike Productions withdraw recent Form 10 submission in favor of resubmitting Form 10 to include audited financials toward becoming SEC compliant. The company anticipates its PCAOB auditor to have work completed in timely manner and has expectations to file Form 10 with audited financials within the next 7 to 10 days. This was on January 11th. It is now the 22nd. So that's 10 days, guys. This is due. So they plan on doing this anytime. Now, auditors are notoriously late, but they have Vampirilla Universe, New York Times bestseller, Wish, and other titles soon to be announced. We're going to get more into that here in a minute. Mike the Pike's Production is publicly traded social media holding companies operating through its subsidiary or Arowana Holdings, Inc., Fanode Entertainment Studio, IP acquisitions, development and productions, and diverse portfolio of IP entertainment marketplace. We're going to talk about all this, guys. Software, gaming, AR video, Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence. Wait till you hear about this, guys. All right. So authorized shares, 2.25 billion. Outstanding, 2.23. No room for dilution. Restricted, 150. Unrestricted, 2.08 billion. This is a decent share structure, guys. There's not much going on. There's been no dilution. Nothing going on. There's nothing being raised. You know, this is tight. Now, got a lot of info on this one quickly. On the business description, just like what we read about, security details, just like I said, authorized shares and outstanding shares, tight. This is a tiny market cap of only $1.5 million. You go to the news, there's been nothing out on these guys since 2012. This is undiscovered. Nobody knows anything about them. I highly recommend you go check their Twitter account out, Mike the Pike Entertainment. So if you look at there, you'll see some of the cool artwork with some of the magazine stuff that work in. Those are all, they own the rights to the video, the entertainment, the comic book rights. So Wish, which is the New York Times best-selling, which is being made into a movie and possibly a series as well. You can see some of the postings that are done by some of the companies they work with and some of the artwork that they do. You know, they're famous for working with George R.R. Martin and also with some of the stuff he's done. In fact, if you check into their George R.R. Martin connections, they have some connections with Cineplex as well, because they were crucial to George R.R. Martin selling his Skin Trades series, which was Werewolf Noir Novella, to Cineplex back in 2015. In fact, he references them directly here. If you see, he references Mike the Pike Productions played a big part in taking the project to Cineplex. So you can see they have those type of connections where they can work directly with these massive companies and these huge authors, really, to leverage future events and future big movies and big productions on these projects that they're working on now, Game of Thrones and stuff. So to be even in the same room as these guys, it's just really amazing to be like talking about, you know, this is a 000 stock still. You know, go check them out on Twitter. Now, if you check their I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, Arowana Holdings, but I'm hopefully the CEO come on and correct me at some point. Check out their website too. It's pretty amazing, actually, their Twitter. They have a lot of neat stuff on there. Go check it out yourself, guys. Their Silverwing series is really cool. Best-selling children's novel in development as a feature film. I'm excited to see some of this stuff. The Wish series is coming out as a feature film. They have 3 or 4 feature films coming out. This is how is this nobody know about these guys? You go to their website, they've got top 10 best-selling authors. You look under their team. Mark Neubauer is a producer. He worked on super successful Beyond White Space starring Holt McCarthy, Mindhunter. Rich Angel's an independent producer, and he works with them. Now he has founded a state-of-the-art production studio in a 4 million square foot former Codex. Now, hold on, 4 million square foot studio. Did we just say this company has $1.5 million market cap? What's this price per square foot? Okay, hold on. Now, Strategic Alliances, John Levin, producer, head of motion and television development and production divisions, and he works with these guys. Look at the movies he's worked with: Glengarry Ross, Hannibal, Mars Attack, American Gods, Karate Kid. He's worked with Brad Pitt and, Steven Spielberg, Will Smith, George Clooney. This is only down in this range because nobody knows about them. These guys have big production value. Once you start looking into the Novelia of the Vampiria series, I looked into this a bit, and it's done work with just that one series. Has done work with a whole bunch of the DC comic lines. Has had spots with it. Has had spots in the Archie line. So there's been crossovers already. So the future crossover potential is just for that one comic line series to cross over into the DC universes and cross over into the Marvel universes in the future and do things like that is amazing. And how it could, just that's one. And then you've got the Wish series and the production value behind that, and how it could be with the youth and with maybe Disney or Netflix or somebody buys that up, or the content and the IP, and these guys have their own studio already that they're working with, and they've got these how is this, and it's a good share structure, and I really like this one, but first things first, the company has to deliver and get this Form 10 in, and they have to, the company has to, provide updates. Now, some other notes is, if you go on iHub, there's a lot of good information out there, and the CEO has been on there. Supposedly, I can't confirm or deny, I don't know, but he has been on there, and if his handle's correct, he's been saying, that he is going to file for sure, and he's saying there's no debts, and he's saying there's no notes, but we haven't seen the fins yet. If that's true, wow, if there's no debts and there's no notes, and he's definitely going to file, this thing could be a rocket ship, so keep a close eye out, buyer beware as always, take profit on the way up, secure the bag, and we're the penny snipers, and I'm happy to bring you plays like this, and, I hope you guys, do well on this one, and every play we bring you. Take care. Good night.